There we are. Hello, hello everyone. More mock building, more Lego, more fun. You know, that's how it be. Oh, I got audio loop. Let's fix that. There we go. My bad. Alrighty. We got X4 stuff to work on. Deconstruction, simple stuff. Maybe make some mechs. See where it goes. We'll always see where it goes. So, I need to start building a new bridge. To do that, I need to deconstruct this one. So, that's what we'll start off with. A little bit of recouping of the parts. Any piece I might need, or any gray tile will be in surplus. And what better way to build a bridge than with another bridge? Bridges make bridges, I suppose. Bridges make bridges. Now, luckily these newer road tiles have the holes on the bottom so you can get the hard to get tiles right on out. Just gotta provide yourself an axle and you're good to go. And hopefully my reliance on these road tiles will slowly diminish as I keep making more stuff. Because it is getting a little repetitive on how many times I've used these in recent builds. And I know I can do much better. Probably put some detailing in the words. The problem is, I think back on Exoforce, and all their bridges are pretty bland. Because of course they want to sell you the toys, not the world behind it. So, yeah, a little bit of a, not a whole lot of art design to go off of for the bridges. But luckily they weren't super consistent, so a lot of the, at least borders of the bridges, the walls, those were always completely something different. Very inconsistent with those. So there's plenty of those designs to go off of, but not so much the terrain and bridges themselves. We're going to stick to the boring ones. So that brings in a lot of creative input and a lot of customization. I doubt I will ever make the same bridge twice for Exoforce. Yeah, no, this probably doesn't, from the distance, probably doesn't look very interesting at all, because it's just a bunch of gray squares. But it's these gray squares that'll help the mechs pop out and be a little more clear with their designs. I will just have to always make sure not to make a gray mech, otherwise it'll be lost to the background. Or if I do gray mech, I do jungle. I do the great jungle. I do want to do a small jungle display on the side. Not very big, just enough to hold a couple of the mechs. Since I have started with the Stealth Chameleon, and I do have another one cooking up, ready to go. Already built, just hasn't been posted yet, from the jungle theme. I do need to start doing do some more though, just to flesh out the location. But in due time, there's going to be plenty of time to make all the jungle mechs, all the Golden City mechs, all the Wave 1 mechs. Because the goal is still to build every single mech from Exoforce in my art style. one step at a time. And I'm going to keep getting distracted with original ones and some other non-official designs outside of the set designs. So we got plenty to do. Once again, I'm starting too close to the front and I'm not getting enough on camera. Need to push everything back just a little bit. Even if it is just generic deconstruction right now. Bridges make more bridges. We're gonna have bridge babies. And then those bridge babies will have bridge babies of their own. And then maybe one day I'll have the mountain to host all the bridge babies. Because what's holding up all these bridges? So far, just my imagination. And that's not very handy for the audience. For anyone stopping by. Or it could be like those Star Wars bridges, those are floating all the time. Yep. So how have people been doing? Been watching any interesting shows? Anything of intrigue? There's a lot of stuff coming out now. And I just finished watching Andor. Phenomenal series, highly recommend it. And shortly after watching Andor, I did watch Rogue One. Now, Rogue One still holds up pretty well, but watching Andor makes Rogue One feel pathetic. It just pales in comparison, unfortunately. But I still think Rogue One's good. Just truly unfortunate that its prequel is now just way better. Yo. And yeah, I do see the complaints of Rogue One now looking like Cassian takes a back seat when he shouldn't. But knocking out one thing at a time. I got tons of shows to watch, and I barely watch anything. Because I remember there's also the, was it Tales of the Underworld? With Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane. And I need myself, I'm always going to want more Star Wars. Good or bad. I'm here for the worlds, the stories, the characters. Except for sequel trilogy. Still not much of a fan of that. It was a little bit good in the Resistance show. And I did like some bits of the movies, but overall, there's not a lot there. I guess I also really like I don't mind the world building of it. I think that really shines through when I enjoyed a lot of sequel trilogy stuff in the video game Battlefront 2. I thought the sequel trilogy was pretty well represented there, and it made me appreciate the sequel trilogy in ways, even though the movies never did. So there was a silver lining. Unfortunately, it's been a decade, or nearly been a decade, for the first sequel trilogy movie. And yeah, it still still not that great. Still is just kind of a rehash of episode 4, the original movie. And there's not a lot of love for the characters, especially for me. I don't. Maybe Poe Dameron. I don't know. But oh well. I hope the new kiddos on the block. This is their Star Wars. Maybe they like it. Maybe it's not too annoying for them. But unlike prequels, it doesn't feel like they've aged as well. I think there's definitely greater appreciation for the prequels nowadays, but maybe we need to wait another decade to see if people have appreciation for the sequel trilogy. Because I'm certainly not one of those people. There was just too much that was messy with that. And here we go, rambling about Star Wars. I really should build more Star Wars. I don't, because there's just a lot of it. A lot of Lego Star Wars as in the products. A lot of Lego Star Wars from the fan base, from the MOC building. And I feel like the Lego Star Wars community is a bit toxic. They could be quite a bit obnoxious, and the louder Lego builders. Especially as of recent. I'm going to get on my soapbox here and say that there is far too much complaining, outrage, clickbait, etc. for the new Death Star. Everybody's whining how they really want it to be the ball. And trust me, if they released the ball as a set nowadays, it just pales in comparison to anything else Lego could make. I think they very much went down the right direction with the more display style, just slice of the Death Star. That, I think, is going to do way better than a ball ever would. I think they knew their marketing as their product design from the get-go on that one. And yeah, as a person that doesn't care which way it goes, this slice is much, much more appealing than any large ball design they could have done. But yes, it's cool to have just a massive Lego set that represents the Death Star, but at the same time, you can convey the exact same thing with, say, that GWP that was not too long ago. That was roughly like a $30, $40 Death Star. Kind of baseball size. Like that's the Death Star. I don't know what detail you want than that. It's a ball with a laser coming out of it. So I think all this outrage and complaining about how it's not the Death Star because it's a diorama is a waste of breath. And you have all these Lego kids. I'm glad there are plenty of Lego Star Wars builders out there that are a bit more quiet and a bit more sane. But it is, like I said earlier, it is another reason for me not to be a part of it. As much as I love Star Wars, the fan base is just not quite pleasant to be around. So that's my little rant on Star Wars, at least the Lego Star Wars community. I'm sure plenty will come out of this Death Star in a positive light, because it's definitely a good product that people are poo-pooing way too much. And if I were to buy a Death Star, yeah, I'd rather buy something that displays the individual scenes rather than every last nitpick about, oh, it should be a ball. Because a ball would look so good on a shelf. Oh, man. And it does put it in perspective of value. Like, if you just want a big ball of the Death Star, I'm sure there's plenty of products out there you can buy that would take up the same amount of shelf space and have the same amount of detail you'd be expecting for much cheaper than what Lego could ever do. Again, it's just a ball. Just a ball. And it's Lego. Lego's supposed to be square. You really expect them to make such a round shape at an affordable price of $1,000? I'm also curious about the way all these Lego sets leak. It's quite strange that it happens so often, as if Lego just does not care that things leak. And I mean, there's no real harm to it, except for the fact that they do like doing the announcements themselves. But it makes me really question what their security is like for letting so many things fly by. Because, like, a list of set names, that's one thing. That's no big. But the entire imagery of their largest set to date, that boggles my mind. How did they do that? How do they do it? Twitch unstable? I hope not. Been doing that a lot recently. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. Maybe I do a little bit of that. It might help. Sorry, Twitch folks. It was running so well the first couple streams, and then it just nosedived on the last 2-ish streams. Quick breakdown. I'll probably show it a bit more once I start taking these plates off. But this is the platform that hosted the Mobile Devastator. And what we have here is the main reason I built this, which was to motorize the Devastator, because the play function on the Devastator only works if the wheels are moving. That way you could just like roll it down the table and then it would do the deploy function. However, at a LEGO convention, I didn't want to take up 20 feet of table space just to show one little dumb robot deployment. So instead, I motorized the base, adding these wheels. So these are rubberized wheels hooked up to a motor, and the rubber on these would catch the hard plastic that was on the official wheels. So I just have motor down here. Get that back for other things. And now the wheels loosely flow. And there's just a simple axle connection from one end to the other, and then one going down the middle to connect all four together. Real simple gearing. Hopefully I will take this apart in a good fashion that I can showcase it, but as always, we shall see. I'm gonna scooch these bricks out of my way. Will fit a little closer to me. Start off with some of these edge tiles. I do have 1x3 tiles in here. Started piles as if I didn't. But yeah, this bridge, this bridge made it to two major shows, and a couple of smaller events. It served its purpose. Hopefully I can do the Devastator play function again someday, but nothing's in the cards for now. I don't know the next time it will the Mobile Devastator will even display. It might not be till far down the line when I do a final Exoforce build. But until that day, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And I don't know if I'm going to bring back the motorized function. I'm going to hold on to this piece, which was locked into the train right here. Snapped off quite a bit, but it is a little locking mechanism that would just fork on into the bottom of the Devastator. That would keep it from being thrown off the platform, because the wheel motion would want it to roll forward or roll back, one of those two. And yeah, that force of it would cause the whole thing to move off the platform rather than just kind of spin in circles like it's supposed to. I guess I didn't plan far enough in advance, but I have so much tile here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. I'm pretty sure it doesn't fit into my drawer system, so I'll have to figure out that. I made sure to have plenty of tiles to cover these road plates. I bet this isn't the most appealing thing to walk in on. It's just, yeah, big gray square. Big gray square. With wheels. With wheels. Although the math on what the positioning for these wheels was a major pain trying to get some of these road plates to line up. There just isn't the right amount of space for them to like evenly be between a couple road plates. They kind of be offset, and then a lot of filler tile was needed. So it wasn't the most efficient, but that would have come down to like redesigning the whole mobile Devastator and providing it longer, shorter style. I don't think I posted it yet, but the initial design for the Devastator of mine was much longer to support the deployment function, and I really hated how that looked because it looked like a giant bus or tractor. It was just so elongated, it didn't feel right. So I scrapped that pretty quickly and shortened the whole vehicle base. Wow. See, the problem is I get on these nice long conversations that'd be great to hold some people in place, but no one ever shows up during that, and then I get through all these long conversations and I go silent for a little while because I'm trying to think of more stuff to say, and it's during those times that I go completely silent. That's when people start showing up, and it's like, you came in at the wrong time, huh? You came in at the complete wrong time, and now I look like an idiot. I look super unentertaining, but you came in during the one lull in the entire stream, and you saw nothing was happening, so you immediately dipped. I'm like, oh, jeez. But I guess that's the part of practice. I still need to work a little bit more on just more jibber jabber, more anything, and see where it takes us. I feel like there's enough controversy in the live community. There's always something we need to talk about. Oh, but the Star Wars people are making me quite annoyed, so there's enough of that. I am happy to hear how good the new Creator 3-in-1 castle is. It's shaping up to be something quite comparable to more classic castle themes. So that is great to hear. And, I mean, it's amazing they brought in some new factions. I would have never thought, with Castle being dead, LEGO would bring some factions into the play. So I'm happy they're still doing some creative things. But I guess it's up to the mock building community to keep a lot of these creative themes alive. And yeah, I hope they continue this streak with the 3-in-1s, because it's good signs, good signs. The Monster Hunter reference is also a pleasant one to see. And even things that aren't direct references to themes, the Unicorn Castle has piqued my interest. Probably solely for the reason of those unicorn molds look very fun to use. and very silly to use too, since they have the bar hole in top. People are definitely going to go wild throwing like katanas and lightsabers into the top of those unicorns. Craig, nice to see you. The 3-in-1 sets are always fun. Yes, they've been doing stellar in recent years with some new set designers and just going crazy with the animal designs. I'm happy that it's a nice little home for the themes that aren't still around. I don't pick up many sets, but I did get the 3-in-1 dragon. I think it's from last year. I got that as a bonus gift with another purchase, and it looks really good. I really want to reuse the parts and try to make a rebrickable design out of it, but 3-in-1 has definitely been something that's caught my attention more than any other theme right now, which is so refreshing, because I always complain about the overwhelming amount of licensing. So it's just nice to see. I guess I need to pay more attention to it, because with how good the sets are, I hope they're selling well. But in a sea of licensing, it still will probably lose out because of name recognition, which is unfortunate. But there's the spark of hope. A spark of hope. LEGO will keep its name brand, keep its spirit alive. Let's see. I wish I could get the Instagram chat running on Streamlabs, but I see that it just doesn't want to cooperate with that one. It wants to prioritize Twitch and share no love. But I don't blame them. I'm still not a fan of Instagram. It's a little too quirky. But it's where a lot of the people are at the moment. Keep hearing people trying to move around. City and Friends are the largest themes. LEGO is going to be fine. Yeah, but I feel like it's just so... those two themes are just so grounded. I want to see fanciful LEGO back. Like, the space stuff was great last year, but I feel like it just scratched the surface and didn't quite reach what it could have with, like, previous themes. But yeah, City and Friends, they're definitely... I mean, they're also the two sides of the same coin. They are both... Friends is pretty much City again, but with different ideas going around. Less police and fire, which is great. But yeah, those two themes will never die. They just lack the freedom and super creativity. It's going to be a lot of buildings and vehicles and not much else beyond that. I'm glad they do branch out every once in a while. Like, a fairground set is always great to see. Especially Friends. Friends does a great job branching out quite a bit. But it is all still that grounded reality. I miss a lot of the storytelling we'd see with LEGO themes that we'd see, like the in-house themes from 80s, 90s, 2000s. Ninjago is definitely a standout. It is the favored child and selling like hotcakes. But it kind of dominates the scene and takes over. Like, there's no reason to get any other sort of mecha or fantasy theme while it's around. It just takes the cake. And I mean, that's not a bad thing entirely, because Ninjago is pretty darn good. it branches out quite a bit and definitely takes a lot of boxes off the market. You can't go wrong with just something that is tearing through with mecha and dragons. Plus the Oriental building style, or structures, houses, etc. That always looks wonderful. But yeah, I can never see Lego bringing back themes like Bionicle. It's too much now. It's just too out there. As much as I love it to death, it's up to the MOC building communities to keep themes like that alive. I think they're completely done with CCBS as far as I can tell. So although the action figures they've been doing recently, that has been quite pleasant to see. I like that they are replicating CCBS in the character building through more system-based means. Although it doesn't feel like they're doing many more. So I hope it's not completely dead, but they're onto some fun ideas. I think they definitely need some sort of stylized set design that fits the action figure category. I don't know where like G.I. Joe stands nowadays, or many other action figure brands, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt for Lego to have their foot in that market and to provide some healthy competition. What they do is stellar, the brick building system, but they can't be the only ones cornering this market. Obviously they're not. There's plenty of great competition for them. But I don't think any of us want them getting too comfortable that things start degrading a little, which I feel like they're already past that point. Losing a little bit of the magic and touch. That could just be me getting older. I don't know. But yeah. They still have plenty of charm. I was really happy to hear about the Nick Bluetooth from Galador appearing in that Minecraft set. What a random thing to pull from, at least for Minecraft of all themes. But it works because there's so much customization to your character in Minecraft. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't somebody have a Nick Bluetooth skin? I hope that opens the door for things like Johnny Thunder and Clutch Powers and some other Max. Gotta do Max. I'm pretty sure Max is still around. And I think he'd be a great character to see referenced more. Although they already ran that course. He has been around the block. If you're joining in now, I am just deconstructing my Exaforce bridge, getting parts back, and probably gonna reuse all this for a different bridge down the line. But for now, just want the parts back, and hopefully get around to a bit MOC building later in the stream. Some mech building. Ooh. But this is the internals of the bridge, which is the whole reason I made the bridge, was to motorize the base, because the play function for the mobile Devastator, it deploys the troops, but it only works when the wheels are spinning. So the wheels perpetuate that and then make the deployment functionality work. And instead of taking up 20 feet of table space to roll this down in a convention hall, I instead motorized the bridge it was on, so that way it could stay in place and the wheels would go flying. So just simple cross axles for the wheels and then one long one, switching up the gears. Nothing crazy, but I had to build the whole bridge around that system and making sure the height of the wheels just barely poke out. And this build ran its course. It displayed at 2 major shows and then a couple smaller ones. It was a fun one. I hope to one day bring back this motorized function for the Devastator to showcase. But for now, Devastator's going to hide in a box. And I'll just keep building Exoforce stuff around it. At the very least, the Devastator will return way, way down the line for whatever my final Exoforce MOC is. Hopefully doing the whole mountains, but until then. Which shows? This one made it to Brick Days Omaha in Nebraska in the spring of 2025. And then it made its final appearance at Brick World Chicago 2025 in June. So a lot of people really loved it. The Exoforce community seems to be growing back up. So I'm happy to see that I am not alone in this weird little Exoforce revival. I guess it's hitting that nostalgia cycle, and it's been 20 years. Moto, you went to Brick World Chicago, Brick Slopes Denver, and going to Utah next week. Yeah, you are loading it up on the shows. With my budget and timing for MOCs, I only make it out to about 2 or 3 a year, and they all hit that spring to early summer timing. So I don't usually make it out to things like Denver or another close one is, I think, Sioux Falls is this upcoming weekend. Maybe one day. I'd love to make it out to more shows. I definitely want to cycle out what my 3rd show is for the year. But I was told I need to make it out to Brick Days Lincoln because something special is happening, but no one's telling me what the special thing is, even though everyone seems to be in the loop. So I guess I gotta go just to find out. And they told me bring my best builds. So something special. You're the guy with the cat lion and mask from Chicago. Oh, Moto, I know who you are. You mention it every time that you forget names of other people. But don't worry, I would not forget you. I've loved your spaceships for years. And I would not forget your name. I would never. So, don't you worry about that. I know who you are. And I always look forward to whatever your next builds are. I loved your Jenga tower. That was kind of a surprise build, and only you could pull something off like that. That was so much fun. And I'm glad you made the straightened out one later too. So I really hope I can see that one in person someday. It works so well in the LEGO medium, since everything in LEGO is already static, and you can get those freeze frame moments. That was like the perfect example of something to build in LEGO, so you can capture that moment. So hats off to you, my friend. But yeah, I definitely want to do things like that. They just capture a moment. There's so much explosiveness in certain media imagery that I think still have yet to be done in Lego. And again, Lego is that perfect medium to freeze frame something ridiculous. So I'm not entirely sure what yet. For one of my upcoming builds, I want to do kind of the explosion and ignition of a vehicle going off and showcasing that. But we will have to see. You just finished a new thing tonight. Oh, you're teasing me here. I will have to keep my eye out for whenever you post it. I say there's always something in the works. I know a lot of mock building for me has been non-stop, and I would expect no less from many other builders. The problem is right now I have so much in secrecy that I want to be surprised, so I'm not doing much on stream yet. That's what you're working on next, a rocket launch. Exactly. Well, mine's not going to be a rocket, so you're good there. But yeah, the idea of just the combustion and the initial ignition of the engines going off. And just the activation of the machinery. It's definitely a design I want to work into. But yeah, there's a lot of hot moments in Lego that can be captured. Don't take that out of context. We were talking about explosive natures. But yeah, just a freeze frame in time can lead to something very magical. Woo. Yeah. But there's definitely a lot to cook up. A lot of crazy things to still build in Lego. And I always look around and see like, oh, somebody's already done that. There's no point in me doing it. It allows me to get to the next thing right away. But at the same time, there's a never-ending amount of ideas and things to build. So jumping around doesn't hurt too bad. That probably made no sense, but that feels like half of my dialogue. I just say things and then hope that I said a proper sentence. Especially on the hot seat of the stream. I bet this clickety-clackety is not the most enjoyable right now. But all these 2x4s, my structural pieces, they're back. Oh, how I've missed you after building the diner. Which the diner is a build that'll definitely still be floating around for a while. I hope to keep that around for a few years. It's going to one more show in the fall, and then after that it's just going to sit in storage for a while. It'll be nice to have a large kind of backup build sitting around. Get this noise out of here. But I know a lot of people enjoyed the diner, and I had a fun time with it, especially it having all the little animatronics in it. So it's definitely one of my more sentimental builds for how fun it was. I didn't quite finish the lighting, but it made it to its run of shows. Maybe I'll add more, maybe I won't. Not my biggest concern. Because like I said, there's plenty more coming up. Got a large display coming up for next year in Chicago. hopefully I can finish in time. I've been a little slow getting started, and the collaborative scene on it has kind of been left in the dust. I feel bad for anyone that was joining me for it, because I have not set up enough structure for everyone to follow through. Have a good night. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Moto. It means the world to have somebody to quickly chat to. And I cannot wait to see whatever your secret build is. Whatever's next on the platter. But you have yourself a great night. Oh yes, play well. Play well. Best part of Lego. We all want to play well. That sounds great. See you in Chicago. Yes. Yes. I will always be at Chicago. That one will be the must make it to show. But don't let me hold you back. There'll always be more days, more building, more streams, more conventions. There's always next time. On Lego Ball Z. Maybe not that one. That wasn't quite the idea I had in mind. Oh, these tiles. These tiles need a home. And there's just too many of them. For anyone watching, well, I was going to ask what should I do with all these tiles, but it's a lot of gray. There's not a lot I can do. Not a lot of interesting things I can do with them. Move these big ones out of the way, because those will be put away last and probably off stream. I really want to get around to mock building on stream, but like I said earlier, there is so much already in the works that I'm leaving for surprise. But once I get past that one, once I get past that roadblock, and things finally start getting posted, it'll be such a relief to start building on stream and start doing a lot more mock building. Because for now it's just a lot of jibber jabber and randomness. A lot of awesome people stopping by though. It's nice to see every once in a while just one random face of intrigue catches my attention and brings me such joy to these streams. Makes them always worth it. Just for that little bit of interaction. Which, like I've said in another stream, that is one of the greatest pleasures of doing these streams, is they give a social aspect to a very antisocial hobby. So as long as I can still get a person or two stop by, say hello, then it's all worth it. Give me some more topics to talk about. I learn from you, you learn from me. We're all a bit more, I don't know if well-educated is the best way to phrase this, but we all know a little more. We're all a little more aware. Also, if you're watching this and you have interest in or skills in web design or nice parts usage, please hit me up. I have a great idea, in theory, theoretically a good idea, of interconnecting the mock building community across all the mediums but it is such a daunting task, and I have no skills with web building, and I've researched too much with nothing gained, that I desperately need assistance, and would like to make it a collaborative effort to rebuild and bring in some of the like community. It doesn't even need to be focused on me. It never needs to be focused on me. Not this one. Not this project. I want something to act as a service to the LEGO community and to give inspiration to others. I want none of the focus on me, but it's a project I desperately want to do. I just do not have the skills to do it. So if you have interest in web design, in nice parts usage, the LEGO mat, the LEGO catalog of parts, please let me know what you got. Let me know. And just like every stream, if you've made it this far, be sure to let me know what your favorite tree is. I must know. Trees. Tree. I think tree day is coming up soon. Someday soon. I never keep track of it on the calendar, but I think it's in the fall. I really wish this part of the desk was built right, where it had a lip, so it'd be easier to scoop things into my hand, but unfortunately it was not. So everything is sometimes a struggle, and I drop way too many pieces. Oh, I gotta dig underneath now. I know I had these pieces down here somewhere. I really just need to take a couple minutes to move some of these bags into drawers. They're just like, they're everywhere, man. Like, none of the cameras pick up how clean the floors are. And they're not clean. They're not clean. At least LEGO parts wise. They're clean from everywhere else, but... Okay, I don't know what's going on with Instagram, if it's working or not. It certainly doesn't look like it's working. So, good luck to that. Oh, a little bit echo. I don't like the echo. I don't know. Okay, well. I mean, hold on. Wait, if I do this. Nope. Let me in. Can I mute it? I don't think it lets me mute it. Picture in picture? Oh, there we go. Why can I only mute it when it's in picture mode? Instagram's stupid. I'll say it. Alright, well, I think this is an update chat. It doesn't show the previous chat history, but that's okay. Just watch the VOD and you'll hear me talk to a ghost. Moto is here, I swear. Check out his work. Probably anything under Moto. Lego Moto. Awesome spaceship designs. A lot of cool Friends stuff mixed in with space and Ninjago. Just a really awesome, playful dude. He's got a lot, and like we were talking about, he's got an awesome Jenga MOC that he just revealed. So if you haven't already checked out Moto, check out his stuff. All right, I'm gonna hide behind the cameras for a little bit. I think my Technic bricks are back here. They sure are. Yoink. You didn't see anyone steal anything. They were all right there on the table, and then they just disappeared. But yeah, I did give it a hard time. I always give it a hard time. That yes, there is Ninjago. Yes, there is Friends. Yes, there is City. But that's... I mean, there's also Technic. Don't get it wrong. There are still in-house themes. But the lively, story-based themes, new fanciful worlds, fantasy or sci-fi, doesn't matter. It's just so quiet from LEGO's front. They just don't care for in-house themes as much. Like, it sounds like... I mean, it sounds like Monkey Kid's been dead. And it doesn't sound... Or it does sound like Dreams is not too far behind it. We'll have to see. I hate rumors. But there are rumors that there is more Dreams next year, which is good to hear, if that's true. But nothing's guaranteed. Nothing. Nothing. I got way too many of these tiles. So my best bet is to carefully stack them into the drawer. Because that's how we make more space. Is by forcing everything to be more efficient. And not drop things on the floor. So now is the part of the stream where I gotta carefully do something. Try to focus on that, but also keep an eye out for anyone showing up as I return to the floor to try to find One Piece. It is the name of the treasure of the Grand Line. Gotta go, yo. Which, that's another thing. I cannot wait to finally pick up the One Piece sets. And strangely enough, build a Lego set. Of all things from me. I am excited to build those Lego sets. And as much as I am excited to build those sets, I plan to completely scrap most of them. I think the only one I'm going to keep together is the Going Merry. It is the ship, after all. And I do like it better than the Thousand Sunny. Which is why I'm always happy to kind of get back to the start of One Piece. Whether it be rewatching it or, in this case, the live action. So I'm happy to see the Going Merry again. That'll be the ones that I keep. And then the rest will be scratched for parts. I even plan to get the Baratier. And even that is not safe. I will not be keeping that one together. It is a big boat. It's a big boat, but frankly, even as a big fan of the anime, the boat does not appear for much. So as cool as it's getting a really big Lego set, it's also a bit awkward. Like, our long part could have had just as big of a set. Or many other scenes from the first one. You could have done... They could have done the Going Merry as a big set like that. Obviously that's a terrible thing for the markets because you want something playset and semi-affordable. But there were so many things they could have done other than Baratier. And at the end of the day, it didn't really matter because nothing... There's really no setting that is permanent other than the boat. So Baratier is fine. At the end of the day. But again, it means so little to me that I will buy it, I will build it, enjoy it, and then immediately scrap it for parts. Because it looks like a lot of fun parts. And the main reason I'd be getting it is for the minifigures. I am that guy. I must have my figures. My mini figures. But I'll at least give it a shot and build the set. Again, not going to keep it together. It's also the stance of I don't know where I'd keep it, where I'd display it. What you see on these streams is more or less the extent of my, where I can keep my Lego, keep my collection. It is this one build room that takes up, at least the build side, takes up roughly 10 foot by 6 foot, or 3 meters, a little over 3 meters by 2 meters? Yeah. So that in total of the space includes my drawers for all my storage of Lego parts. It includes the desk space, which as you can see sometimes is empty. There's way too much junk behind me. And then that's also shared with walkable space and my chair. So all of that combines. There is not much else space for Lego stuff. There's very little to display on top of the storage, but a lot of that is MOCs and sealed sets that I don't plan to open. Look at. Produce. I do get inspired by just having some sealed sets lingering above me, something I can look at every once in a while. Unlike me hiding off camera, where there's nothing to look at. I still have tiles, and I must scream. I don't think I have a bag in here for it. We start a new bag. I keep so many bags on hand now. And then it can join the collection of parts on the floor. I chose the wrong size bag. There's too many of them. This one looks good. Hold on its own. We got a loaner bag. It's by itself. Okay. With these, a little bit of detour with parts falling on the floor. With these being put away, I think I'm just about ready to try building some MOCs. Just a little bit. Probably won't be streaming for about a half hour more. But I don't know how this is gonna go, because just kind of go off the cuff and start building a mech. I think I'll pull up some reference images. Thinking about what's his face, the Iron Vulture. I guess there's a lot of things that use Iron Vulture. It is not Vulture. What am I thinking of? What is the mech from Series 1? So I think Condor. Oh, Flame Vulture. Flame Vulture is what I'm thinking of. Flame. There we go. Dark blue and black. Someone's already done a mini, but I'm gonna make my mini different. I am gonna probably straight up riff off their fan design, because I've been thinking about that for years, and I didn't, or not years, for many months, and I wasn't certain how to pull off the large fan, and they clearly did it with such simple execution. So shout out to Sakota 7 from 6 years ago. They did it way before the mini one in Robo World. Damn, that's. I wonder what else they've been up to. But I think we're gonna attempt some Flame Vulture. So a lot of dark blue. Funny enough, they did the same technique that I did for the legs. Great minds think alike, but again, he gets the credit. He did it 6 years ago. Okay, I just need a general photo of the set to get started. There we go. So I'm gonna go off of that. It's got some dark tan in it. I forgot about that for the joints. So I'll just see where we can go with that. A lot of angles. So I kind of want to stick away from my curves. See what dark blue I got going around here. I don't think those will be helpful. I got a lot of 1x1 slopes. Okay. These fins I think would be great. I think we'll start with the legs. Trying to figure out that angular design. I'm using a couple flag elements. And then I gotta keep it somewhat in scale to these two suckers. I don't know, how are we all feeling? Would Fire Vulture be more on the stout side? I feel like he's more on the lanky side. They're all roughly the same size, but I guess to mirror what's in face, Stealth Hunter. To mirror Stealth Hunter, I feel like it would be more on the lanky side. So I might go with these flags for the sides, but I need something down the center. Let's see. I don't think these car doors would do anything good. Yeah, it's all those triangular shapes in the original sets that are very hard to capture recreating. And I think this vent piece will do just fine to get a bit of sloping. So we'll go with those three for now. And then we need a way to set these at an angle. Skeleton's always my go-to, but I need to rely on that just a little bit less for now. I feel like I've been doing it too much in recent Exoforce builds. Let's see. Just need a quick sip. Throat's getting a bit there. If you're watching on Instagram, I'm not sure if the chat's working. I had people talking earlier, but it did freeze up, so we'll see. But I think we'll get started on these Fire Vulture legs. Figure out how to do these angles. It's not feeling too bad. Let me get my reference image back up. I do need to make it so I can show the reference image for everybody else too. Otherwise, it's just kind of me staring off into the void. Let's see. I have a lot of pieces in dark blue just scattered about. So let's see what we can do about this. Probably need some more angles going on. Hello, Anderson Builder. It's great to see you. I was happy I got to meet up with you in Chicago. Your work has always been quite inspirational. Trying to get going on the streaming side here. I've been doing a lot of just random stuff on the other streams, just kind of breaking down things and sorting. But we'll see how mock building goes, because that is the main goal. And right now, with not much else on the mind, trying to get started on the next Exoforce mech, or a future Exoforce mech, which will be a revamp of Fire Vulture. So that's where I'm at right now. There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline, but I am certain I'm not alone where I like to have a lot of my builds be surprises. So most of the builds that are currently on my mind are off screen and will not be shown off anytime soon. But one day. Let's see. I'm going to use a snot brick, some bars. Try to get some more angles in here. Now what I did find fun to look at is throughout all the Exo4 sets, they were pretty consistent at keeping the good guys white and the bad guys black to really differentiate the two factions, even though a lot of the mechs were a bunch of different colors. So there's a lot of black to get lost into, at least especially the earlier ones, where their secondary color would be another dark color. So that has made things a little less appealing on the artistic side, but I also don't want to go against the grain and make a faithful adaptation that isn't faithful, at least in the colors. You know what? And I feel like I need to work on maybe zooming in the camera a bit more when I do these smaller builds. It does feel a bit far, especially, I'd say more on the Twitch side. It feels like the big wide camera is to its detriment. But yeah, it's definitely been a fun experience trying to learn to talk about nothingness and just continuously chatter into the void. It's definitely been a good motivator to keep me doing things and building rather than being stuck on some nonsensical death scroll in the background. So I'm glad, at the very least, even with very few people coming in and chatting, I have felt productive and better motivated. But yeah, definitely talking about nothing for several hours at a time is quite the challenge. Let's see. So I've definitely gotten... It's a start, but I definitely don't like how it's connected so far because there's no way to get the other one on. Where's my example so I can see how... Try to get this centered. Okay, sorry about that. And I'm able to get some good shaping in there with getting this flag panel lined up with the grill in the front. Let's see if we can get very closer. But the way I did it this way, I won't be able to get the other side on. So definitely a part I want to work on. I think that's definitely the way to go to get very similar shaping to the original set. I really need to rework this whole connection point. I need to probably focus on less angles and try to straighten it out a bit more. A bit on the tough side though. But how are all of you doing? Any interesting MOCs in the works? Like I said, there's a lot I cannot talk about just yet, but once October comes around, the floodgates will be open, and there will be plenty more to showcase, build, and talk about. These compound angles. Something I probably shouldn't be stubbornly focused on for the stream, but I really do want to start with this bit. Might need to try some other bar elements. Maybe. But there's definitely a lot planned. Not only in streams to come, but for MOCs that will be shown off, eventually posted. These streams have definitely given me some extra little side things to do, such as on the Sunday stream, I will probably be trying to tackle another contest. This past one, we did a fun little contest for a soapbox derby car, and that was something definitely outside my wheelhouse. Unfortunately, the nature of soapbox derby cars are so simple at minifigure scale that I knocked that out pretty quickly. So then it just was like, well, what else can I add to the scene? So hopefully that one will be posted up soon for everyone to enjoy. But I think I will wait till I hear back about the contest results before posting anything on that. Oh, would this be a fun piece, or a fitting piece to use? It's a new, it's almost like a flower stem piece, but it was used for a telescope base. Here, I should do this. There we go. I have my reference image, and I can see my replay. Nah, it's telescope piece. Doesn't look like it would quite fit for the fire vulture. I want to find a skeleton arm, Baldur arm, one of the bent ones that are a little shorter. I want to see if that would give me a nice angled clip connection, because I know it has bars in between the two clips, as short of a gap as they are. They can still make for some interesting and diverse angles. Okay, I found one. I'm looking for the one that has the two different angles. Yeah, it's enough for a single bar. It's tough. Definitely tough. Yeah, because then it sticks out quite a bit. Yeah, I think I don't usually do it live, but I think I will zoom in good bit there. Do a reset. There we go. And I don't know how this will look on the Instagram side, but this should give everybody a bit better of a view of what I'm working on. And keep my hands a little lower. There we go. So it doesn't blur out. Learning experience. Learning. So. Yeah, these battle droid arms, not quite. If I flatten them out, they get very close to each other, but I'd need like a binocular to hold them in place. And I'm not sure how sturdy that would be. So I do know the binoculars struggle a little bit with the clip connection when getting certain angles. But I also lose some of my angling. So now it's too close. Okay. So binoculars are out of the picture. Of course, I start building MOCs on stream and I come up with the most complex shape to start with. But hey, that's the fun of it. I'm still not completely against the T-bar for holding this in place. I'm just not sure how it lines up properly. Because the wedge is pushing it off at one angle, and then that's putting off the clip at two more angles. Can I maybe straighten it and then just do a clip on the side? Maybe. Maybe. Let me try that. Get some clippy-doos going. Try some of these too. Let's see. Here I go again off screen, just browsing through the pieces. Definitely considering wider angle so I'm not so far off screen. Let's see. This isn't looking bad. It definitely needs a lot more going on. Definitely needs a lot more. Let's see, where did my other pieces go? I wonder with all of this Exoforce building, should I watch some maybe Gundam or anime to get further inspired? I don't think I've ever watched a Gundam show before. Unless you want to count things like Super Sentai Power Rangers. But I wonder if I should get started at some point and just learn for the sake of the MOC. I've definitely heard some of the music from those shows before, and those are quite stunners. There could be some really, really good music from those shows. And I do like me some good music. Not sure how I quite feel about this, but I'll get it built up, so I'll at least be able to show both sides now. See how we're thinking about it. Well, it doesn't quite want to work. That is unfortunate. Let me use a jumper. Lower this piece just a little. And then I'll show it off on camera. See how that looks. Yeah, the fact that I saw that wave earlier means that Instagram chat must be working to a degree, which is all I can really ask for. Okay, so we're starting to get some good angles here, and it's starting to line up. It is a bit bulky for my taste, but not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm just glad I was able to get some of the angles to match, or to match closely. They're still a little off. Ooh. But that is the general concept of it so far. So I wonder if I just need to try 3x plate again and somehow get it moved up. If Instagram's telling the truth, and there's one of you out there, I greatly appreciate you being here. Something to keep the times going. And the support means a lot. But man, these angles do not want to work with me. I'm sure there's a simpler way that I'm just not thinking of right now. And it is driving me a little crazy. Just a little. I might need to try some different bars. But I probably also should move on to something else on the mech, so that I'm not wasting my time all stream on these one leg parts. One set. Okay, switching to the fire hose nozzles. See if moving it back helps. Certainly doesn't feel like it. Just makes it feel like it just throws everything off a tad from where the nozzles were. However, that might mean I can bring back the bracket. Although now everything will probably be at too much of an angle. Throw in some dummy plates to give me some space for now. Maybe a brick. Maybe a brick. It's always all this random experimentation. So that's what we do best. We try random crap, and if it sticks, Maybe it'll look good. Maybe it will. Okay, so I'm gonna try one more thing. And then I might have to go back to what I had before, how close everything was at one point. And I'll leave one in the nozzle and one in the T-bar to see if, well, to give myself different options. So I think I need the nozzle, is what I'm figuring out, because it offsets that center. It just allows for a couple more angles. Although then it's harder to angle the flag element with the handle. So I feel like we're back at square one. This has gone nowhere. So I will rebuild somewhat what I had before that was working all right. And we will leave this as is and come back to it later. Yeah, I'm being quite stubborn with this one. I feel like there's got to be a larger element I can use that holds things in place just a little better. Or I need to use some robot arms. Actually, that wouldn't be terrible because you can connect from the sides. Okay. Well, now I'm starting to get a little something, but it's very sketchy. And everything just angles too much one way or another. How much would I have to bend this so I get a flat angle? And nothing wants to quite work. Let's try the base. Try where the wrist meets it. Yeah, these compound angles are certainly killing it for any form of connection. I'm going to take one more look, see what this angle is compared to this angle. Once you get it on there, or held up against it. Yeah, there's just so many angles going on right now. It is a bit tougher to get those to line up. The backside might look better. It would definitely scoop things outwards versus bringing things upwards. But it still doesn't help our angle problem. I feel like this is a very important thing to start with because it is one of the more prominent things on the mechs were those lower leg guards. Maybe I need to try some hot dog pieces because those fix a lot of weird angles. They really shouldn't be my go-to, but I mean, sometimes you just can't beat them. The hot dogs are quite strong. Problem is they do stick out quite a bit no matter how I form them. But that curve is giving me stuff to work with. Something that nothing else would. I need to try the original angle again. The original side of the panel. I swear, now I'm so fixated on this, I will not end the stream until I figure out this element of the build. You have my word. I could be here for another couple hours trying to figure this out. But I must figure it out. It's so obnoxious, but we're gonna make sure this one part of the build gets done before the end of the stream. And the hot dogs are helping, but they're only helping so much. Wonder if there's any new fancier pieces coming out that might help. They're always releasing more and more stuff. So there's always new favorite pieces. I'm sure a lot of people have plenty they love from, say, the F1 series. There were so many new parts introduced in that. I think a new piece I need right now, looking at this connection, what I can do, is I need a clip on two sides. And I know they don't produce that, but I have seen this piece a couple times where it's the clip on four sides. So I'm gonna try that. Also see, yeah, my camera's up higher. Need to be a little more aware. All right, let's be aware. Off screen, I'm going to quickly swap the bracket so I can just insert a stud into it. So I don't have to use an awkward new Technic piece or a friction pin, which will provide me more connection points. Okay, the hot dog, as much as I dislike cheaping out and getting the hot dog in there, it looks to be forming a lot better. Definitely didn't want to cheap out with that, but I did. See if we can get slightly better angles in there. Oh! Alright, it's gonna be finicky. But which of my builds have not been a complete nightmare to handle? The answer is yes. The answer is always yes. These builds have quite often been a nightmare. My setup looks cool as it can be. Thank you so much, Austin. It's been a long time coming in the making. And now I just need to get used to actually streaming. I've done videos, but I've done almost nothing with the videos. And now I got a little bit of streaming going, but it's going to be slow and steady as I slowly get into the custom Lego building. At least live custom Lego building. Just kind of dawdled off with other streams of just sorting pieces. And tearing apart sets that were bought just for those parts as well. Yeah, long-term goal, eventually get around to very consistently making custom stuff on stream. And hopefully eventually getting around to doing a little bit of gaming. That is a thing of Twitch anyways. But I digress. It's going to be a lot of Lego in the meantime. That's what people know me for. And there's already plenty of gaming people on Twitch. But it's not like I stick out as a builder on Twitch either. There are plenty of those. I'm glad they eventually got the category sorted out for Twitch. Building streams and what is it called? The brick building community. You can't say Lego. Not in title, at least. I'm sure my tired expression has been showing up on camera with me probably squinting way too much. Something I'm always trying to work on a little better. Yeah, this part of the build is going to drive me insane if I do not figure out how to pull it off. It's just... it's leg day. But only the lower leg. And I just can't get the right angle. I don't think the hot dog is as good of a cheater piece as I thought it'd be. If it is, I have to keep doing what I'm currently doing, which is just making micro adjustments as I slide it down the clip and then slightly readjust the angle. It gets so close, but every time it gets close, I can see that it's putting pressure on the other clip and bending it a bit too far out. Oh, so yeah, this one is not anywhere close to where I want it to be. So we are going to... oh, I am way off camera. I think. Maybe. No. It's just the delay on Instagram being complete trash. Okay. I need to look at this from a perspective again. Because from the grill, it splays out, and then it's tilted forward, ever so slightly. And that's my big issue. Is how do I reset those angles so that they can connect properly? Oh, it is quite a stressful bit for me to be doing almost nothing on stream. But I need some slight angles. Ever so slight. Where can I get pieces like that? Aside from just bar and clip connections. I think I'm gonna get my old bracket back so I can reverse the stud. Plus, it's a matching dark blue. So how could I go wrong with that? I could start introducing ball joints, but I don't feel like this is a good time to do that. Maybe at least for the upper leg. How do I normally do these? Oh, lower leg. Lower leg's usually a cup. Ball and cup. So that way I can start with some connections. Hopefully have that all be sturdy later. Okay, well now we're back to was essentially square one. I'm trying to get these flag elements to be slightly angled. Let's see, I might go with a 1x4 plate to start us off. That way we have a nice long connection down to the ball socket. Now to get these plates lined up, I might bring the hot dog back, but it might be a clip connection on the front or back. Try front first. And see how that goes. So now at least with that, I can get one of the angles closer. Now I just need, that's a tough one. I think what I need, actually the nozzle might come in handy again. But then that clip connection is far too tight. Far too tight. I think even with a stud of space, if I space it out just a little bit more, I don't think that'll look good. Plus that'd be way too tall. So I gotta scrap it. Scrap it away. I want to keep 4 studs tall. Stick to that, and we got some consistency with the other builds. This hot dog. Ooh, this hot dog. This hot dog don't want to be in a good spot. So let me try larger clip and a hot dog. Always come back to the hot dog. Now it's very far away. I don't know how I feel about that. But it might be a simple as adding these kind of bar to clip connections, bar to bar, clip to clip, whatever you want to call it. That might be the solution. That might be. Definitely gets them pretty darn close to each other. I might have to switch this clip to a 1x, because with the 2x, it goes right up against that slope. It gives me no space to do anything else. So I think I'll do 1x, and I'll get a cheese slope. Hopefully I have some spare cheese slopes in dark blue. Which then also alternates our design to a one stud at the bottom, which matches the stud design on the original set. Oh, the problem with this cheese slope is it's getting in the way of the bar. It's a little too big. Let me try playing around with the other flag element and its bar connection to see how that fits. See if there's anything I can do to help modify it just ever so slightly. Yeah, I feel like I need something else that's a bit longer than the hot dog. Might have to go with old reliable and find a motorcycle handle. That piece also works wonders. And I've been using quite a few of those too, just to get some different angles. Now that might be one I am... Oh, I have one in black. Although now it's way down there and I might have to shorten it again. Ooh. Did not like that. Try to snap right off. Let me try with the T-bar. So we haven't tried the T-bar for a little while. So, whoa, something clicked without me moving anything. I think it's gonna try to break. Ooh. It's not bad. But it is a bit far now. So I might have to move all this in front and shorten the plate. Oh, but now it's trying to alter the angle too much. Oh, it's so close. It's so close every time. Dang, yeah. And this also makes it very difficult to attach your ball joint. So instead, I might try angling it forward, bringing back the big plate, seeing how that looks. Definitely too much to experiment on here. Oh! Because now my build table is getting to be a mess. Oh, I guess this way gets us very close. Very close to being feasible. But it's still off. Alright, back to the 3 plates. It is. I have definitely ran out of steam for discussion. But I will be making it to the end. I'm gonna make sure we get a design down just for these lower legs. And that's it. That's all I need. Whether it looks great or mediocre or somewhat relatively close. Anything at all at this point. I'll take it. So let's see, we had this one that was fairly close. The issue was the cheese slope was in the way. Yes. So, need to modify this just a little bit. See where that takes us. See where we go. Nobody knows. It's always so close. It's always just so close. And yet so far. Alright, this angle's not too bad, but it is pretty wide. And I don't know if I want wide. So let's replicate it on the other side. Oh, and replicating it brings its own can of worms because that just made the whole thing splay out further away. Oh, it's so close every time. It doesn't know what it's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. My dialogue has become so boring and so empty. Oh, I'm starting to feel like a choice-based game. Because I don't know about anyone else, but when you play something like Skyrim, I think it's Skyrim, Outer Worlds, things like that, people always praise them for like, oh, you have so many choices and different outcomes and things like that. To me, it never feels like there's much of an outcome. It just feels like there's not much. You're given choices, but the choices don't mean anything. I don't think I've ever had a game that's felt like it actually did have meaning for choice. It's all just been for show. Okay, this feels promising, but it's still just like, it is so finicky. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with it. But yeah, definitely feels like all those quote-unquote choices. I know it's really bad with like Telltale series, because those are choice-based games where nothing mattered. They had a plot line they wanted you to follow, whether you liked it or not. So that was definitely a big bummerino on that. but I feel like even other games that are praised for their choice space still do not feel like your choices matter. Okay, I think the big loser here is the cheese slope in the middle. I think it's throwing everything off. So we're going to try getting the angles closer without it. The problem is the hot dog keeps rotating, which throws off all the angles. Yeah, because now I don't remember what the good angle was. It's definitely looking to be more facing inwards towards the joint. But even then, that magical angle only appears in a blue moon and then it feels like it's gone. Like this so far is feeling way too wide for what I want. Kind of want it to be more skinnied up, a bit more lean. So I feel like I need a different sturdy connection is the issue. So I'm gonna try another piece here, a different kind of clip. It is the newer 1x3 plate with a clip on each end facing upwards, because that would give me a lot more rigidity. But I don't know if it's the piece that will work. Wow, piece keeps sliding away. Because I can do a good side profile with that, but I lose that forward angle that I really need. It's quite the bummer. I wonder if a hot dog would work back here, but again, the hot dogs are so risky because they move around so much. I'm trying to do angles like this. Oh, it is super close though. Once again, the hot dog gets right there. It doesn't quite feel stable. Now I'm building off screen again. There we go. Super close, super close. How's the other side look? Oh, come on. Oh, you can't even get remotely close to the same angle as the other side of the flag element. Okay, let me try flattening this out. Ooh. Now, yeah, I got parts everywhere, and I don't usually build this messy. Well, sometimes, but even this is feeling like a bit much for how many parts are splayed out for one concept. I am just not nailing. Okay, so I got these parallel, but how am I gonna squeeze in the slope? And bring it all together. So now, well, the angle's off because I put the slope on backwards, If I don't do that, then I can get closer again. It's always just close. It's never on point. If I could push the hot dogs out just a little further and get a little bit more angle. But yeah, so let me try flipping the script a bit. Moving some plates around. So now that brings the slope back a bit. And still the hot dogs are just too darn close. I can angle it and then it's on point. The whole plate is askew now. That is not what I was going for. See, this is where some chatty folks not only would be a good distraction for me, but might have some good suggestions for me. I think the best suggestion would be I just need to stop and not be so fixated on it. Oh, but instead, here I am. Here I am, once again. So, just gonna start putting pieces down, seeing if that gets me closer, and then maybe, just maybe, everything will line up. So I want that angle. And in theory, the hot dog would get me closer, but it's been struggling. It's been really struggling. Oh, my eyes are also starting to hurt, and I'm sure that my voice is getting a little groggy and just not super clear for stream quality. I'm sure my quality has dipped over the evening, but that's also my fault for streaming right after work. The energy was already at its minimum, and yet here I am. Here I am streaming again. Okay, I think I'm starting to see a bit of an angle I could get. Problem is the whole thing is offset from the main build. So, to get that slight angle, I might go with a ratchet joint. And a ratchet joint might be too much, but at the same time, if it gets me just the angle I need, then it's doing something right. The problem is, it's not. It is not. It's so close, just like everything else so far. It's always just a smidgen off in one angle or another. And the ratcheted joint didn't quite help. It was a good idea. It locked it in place and made it a little bit more stable, but doesn't pose a slight angle in it. I think I need to get away from this 3-clip angle, or this 3 stud wide for the clip connections, because then I don't have enough area to slope down to the 1. So I need to figure out a way to space that out just a little bit further. And I think I know just the piece for that. A little wider than 3. I'm sure I have one of these in black, but I'm going to start with the gray one because that's what I have readily available. And I think we'll just go with some protecting cushionings for now. So I don't know how else I'm going to make this tight. But that is a later problem, because right now I just want to get the angle down. But this is still obnoxious. Still obnoxious. How close it gets every time. It's like me, it doesn't know when to quit. Alright, I think I have the right angle. Everything is just way off. Way off. And now I need a brick. Oh, I have one. So this will probably be replaced with a socket later. Okay, so maybe if I do... Oh, of course I lose it. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Oh, it's back. I'm just an idiot, okay? Alright, we're gonna do a socket. We're gonna do a plate. We're gonna slap all this together. Oh, I'm gonna drop something and just not think about it. Slap all this together. And height-wise, it's still gonna be off by a little. Oh, come on. It's... I keep saying this, but it's so close. Every time. Every time, it's just like, it's right there. Okay, so what if I do, screw that piece, put this piece on. And now I can't pull it in further or lower the height. It's so darn close. And I can do one of these back here, but still. It taunts me because it is so close. These flags were a mistake. I had the idea and now it's just been locked into my mind. Yeah, if I get that connection just naturally from one of these plates with the bars strapped to the side, if that would just immediately connect, that'd be fine, but it doesn't. So now we're in a struggle bus. How'd the other side look? Oh, this would be way off. It'd be way off with the other side. And now I'm so focused on this. Yeah, I'm not listening to any topics. Just here, struggling, coping. for a single Twitch viewer. I kid. There's someone that's gonna be out there. I know it. I just know it. Like, even this ratchet joint doesn't want to help me in any regard. Oh man, I cannot express how close it is every time, and it doesn't understand. It does not cooperate. I might have to settle for close. But man, these gaps bother me. It definitely is difficult to stay motivated to talk when there just is no one to really talk to in the moment. But I know there might be someone out there at some point that'll be listening in, giving me the much needed motivation I need, even if it's not right now while I'm just like, ugh. But at some point, I'm sure there'll be somebody who will be my future hero, giving me future motivation. Might come in handy another day. Oh, geez, it's just a pile of bricks now. It's what I would say if I was giving up, but I'm not. I'm gonna solve this, and it's gonna happen on this stream, hopefully within the next 15 minutes, because it's starting to get late. If I just figure out a couple quick angles where everything just lines up with this plate, I really want to use the hot dog in tandem with the pneumatic T, since they both have that little hole. However, this is not the MOC for that, because that's going to take up too much space. I'm distracting myself now. Distracting myself from the pain. Alright, I have an idea. Possibly like my last idea. I'm starting to pull strings here. Running out of part ideas. I guess this proves that I'm really not in the mech building mindset as much as I want to be, because I have just so many other dumb things going on. So theoretically what I just built is good, but it pushes everything too far out, so it doesn't work in the slightest. Maybe this other way around, but even then, that one's that was real muddy. Really doesn't want to connect properly. Because, once again, say it with me, it's super close. So I think what I'll do instead is I think I will switch out snot brick for one that can get a little buried. And then we'll try from that, because it felt like it was only a plate off. But I won't know till I throw it all together. Oh, this is too far off. Let me use one of these bricks that I have on hand. Yeah, I was gonna have it. Actually, I almost had it 2 plates up. Oh, now it's like it's a plate too high. There's no winning. It was a plate low, now it's a plate high. I guess, hold on, let me measure that. Yeah, it's exactly half plate in between. So if I do, what measurement would I want? I want to use the half size knot bracket. And now I lift it up by how much? Or was it half up? So we need 1 plate. And then I think I found the sweet spot. Unfortunately, I don't have the lower bracket in black right now. Okay, so why is it not straight anymore? There we go. Okay, let me get these pieces for the other side. Which I need to... gotta dig for one, and then I gotta go to another drawer for the other. All of my 45-degree bars with stud on top are in a single drawer. They're too special. They're too special. Oh, Twitch did have a stroke. I see that now, the timer reset. Cool. I love doing extra editing. So cool. Oh! Wants to fly away. He wants to be a bird. I guess this is a vulture, right? Yeah, fire vulture. Now it's one plate doesn't want to rotate. Okay, so I need this a little straightened out. Now it should be good. Now it might be real close. Stay with me. It's real close. So what I need from it is for the base of the flag clip to clear the bottom of the slope. It's hard to explain, but because the flag widens out and becomes the clip, there's a little bit of part that wants to interfere with the slope, the very, very bottom of the slope. Oh, I see another issue is that one bar wants to go further in than the other, which is changing the clearance. Oh! Why wouldn't it break? Why wouldn't it fly away? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but one is really pushing away and the other's not. I think I see why. But then it doesn't explain why only one's doing it. Yeah, it makes no sense why only the one's doing it. Well, this is infuriating. What if I use the nozzle instead? Oh, it's so far out now. Although that might not be a bad thing. Because now I can slide a socket joint in there. Ruin its coloration by doing that. Since the socket's in gray and we want a lot of blacks right now. But frankly, I just want to wrap this up. Oh my goodness. Some of these bars are so tight they don't wanna move. Oh, I guess the other one's like that. As long as they're the same. And they're best of buds. Okay, and now I can slide these all the way in. Ah, now it's just too wide. It's just too wide. It would help if I could slide the bar down a little bit, but it is about as far over as I can get. Oh, shoot. Shooty shoot shoot. I suppose I need to try the other way around now. Which is not gonna look great. Yeah, it's way too far now. Oh, well, maybe. Maybe. Such a disaster. Yeah, if I could just scoot in a hair, it'd be right there. I suppose I can lower it, and that would get me closer. I also don't know why one came out flush now, but the other is refusing to. Every last little angle wants to work against me here. Okay, and then there's a point where you start getting diminishing returns and the angles just don't want to work whatsoever. So that's cool. Oh, the gap is just right there. It's just so close, but there's a tiny gap between each side. And it's killing me. Oh. Where's that in the distance of clip? Be a bit further down. I'm not going to completely destroy that, but I am going to create another that hopefully takes advantage of it. me see. What's the positioning on that? Right around there. So if I use a clip instead, I can get them right up against the sides. And then I can be disappointed that it's still just close and not right on the seam. Always so close. Also, doesn't want to share the clip. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Sharing a clip is a lot better if I use one stud on it. Which, yes, it's going to want to twist, but at least there's space for both bars to fit in. Ooh. Okay, maybe I bring back the jumper. Now, I'm going to go back to what I just had a couple moments ago. That is the closest it's been all night. And I might just leave it at that until the gap is, no, until I can figure out the gap. Until the gap is solved. And until the music continues where it's supposed to be. Oh, nonsensical chatter is back on the menu. Especially since I cannot focus chatting too much while being stubborn on figuring out this build. Like it is right there. Right there on the scale of how close it is. I might have to go back to a different design. Just to lower it. Ooh. Was I not already there? Now it's half plate too high. What did I mess up here? How did I mess up reverting it back already? I need to get rid of this. There's one extra plate in here. I'm not super satisfied with it, but I'm gonna have to deal with it for now. And then figure out my ball joint connections and whatnot. Oh, actually, I think we could do a little bit of this. Although that ball joint is now super close to the base of the foot. I feel like I want to bulk up the armor just a little bit. Oh, but for now I'm just going to leave this as is. Maybe it will be used for, I don't know, something else. or maybe it will properly be used for the mech itself and its leg as planned. But for now, I think that's where I'm going to call the mech building, and where I will soon call the stream. As I tear down, I want to thank all of you who stopped by. It means so much, as always. Whether you chatted or just popped by to see what was up, your support is a big help to me. My motivation, my energy, even though my energy is like completely sapped right now, that's on me. But I digress. You've all been wonderful, big support, and I hope to keep catching you all on future streams. Even if I'm not facing the camera right now or reading chat, I know you're all out there. Let me know how I can improve. Let me know how I can not waste as much time on little things like this. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Alright, one last goodbye. Thank you all so much. And bye-bye. Bye-bye. There it goes. Bye-bye. There's buttons somewhere. Bye-bye.